Hey friends! Today's video is gonna be a collab with one of my very dear friends, one of my YouTube besties, and one of my besties in real life, Smokey Glow, Hannah. I'm sure many of you are already subscribed to Hannah. I'm sure many of you have probably come to my channel from Hannah's channel. Hi, welcome. I swear a bit more, so... But I love Hannah. I love her. She's one of the kindest, sweetest, hardest working people I know on this damn website. I love you, literally. So you guys should go check out her channel. If you like me, yeah. Maybe if you're here from her channel, watch this video and see if you want to stick around for the rest of the month, because I am also doing Vlogmas and it's also a lot of work. So for our collab, we were trying to think of ideas, and I was already planning on doing like a holiday releases version of my makeup archives series that I'm going to continue doing after the holidays. But we thought it'd be kind of fun to look at holiday releases from years past and talk about, would they still be popular? Would people still want them? Would people still buy them? Would they still be released today? And for my video, I looked back all the way to 2010, between 2010 and 2014. And Hannah is gonna look at from 2015 onward, because we both kind of joined the YouTube makeup community at different times. Like, she got on YouTube a lot later than I did, and so I have a lot of like old context of like all of the MAC collections that came out every single year, and like looking and waiting for Temptalia swatches. Shout out to Temptalia, Musings of a Muse, Makeup and Beauty blog, Karen, Pop Sugar. So many websites, so many blogs from back in the day are really good at just like having archives already. There was a time when Urban Decay would come out with these book of shadows, I think every year. I don't remember. I never owned one of them, but this was the Urban Decay Book of Shadows Volume 3. The way they described it is a lovely gift full of fashionable colors, different times. But this palette is, it's like a kind of very Urban Decay color story. And then it came with 2 eyeliner pencils, and as well as the primer potion that came in the old little bottle that looked like a potion bottle. They were cute, but it makes a lot more sense the way they are now. It's this big, clunky diorama of palette that is just so weird. It was like Urban Decay Loves New York City was the theme, but it was like a pop-up book. Urban Decay's done this a lot, where they have palettes that are just weird, boxy diorama things that I don't think would sell that well now. I think people these days really like something that's a little bit more sleek, or if it is going to be bulky, they want it to be more usable, because this is just a weird shaped, it's like a drawer that you pull out, and then there's like a mirror that's not even that big. So it's just like random clutter in your palette that, like, why would anybody want that these days? I don't know. I feel like back in the day, not as many people had as large of makeup collections, so maybe they had more space. And Urban Decay was one of the big ones, one of the big brands that was very popular back in the day. It was like Urban Decay, Benefit, MAC, pretty much that. Too Faced. We'll get to some Too Faced ones, don't you worry. But yeah, I don't think anybody would want this. And also the color story is just kind of weird. Like, there's lots of greens and like weird bronzes and purples. Like, it's a very early 2010s Urban Decay palette. Too Faced. I have several things from early holidays. Too Faced. This is Too Faced Pixie Perfect Set. Comes with metallic shadow shades, perfect for the holidays and beyond, and lip gloss and blush that will make her take her right into warmer weather. Too Faced has not grown that much as far as like actually innovation. They've grown in like number of customers, but they've really never been that innovative at all. And this proves that, because this was what they put out 10 years ago and they're still putting out the same crap. It's got like butterflies on the package. It's $42. You've got the Too Faced Shadow Insurance, which was the other really popular eyeshadow primer, and then a lip gloss. Like, I mean, it's probably a good value, like $42, but like what we have learned since then is that Too Faced holiday products are notoriously not good. I mean, would people still buy this? They're still buying the Too Faced ones now, so like, I don't know why at this point. Come on, guys. Oh my god, the Philosophy holiday shower gels. Do you guys remember those? I feel like Philosophy kind of just fell off, but for a long time, every year they had these like big holiday scents. This was the Gingerbread Girl, but they had so many of these scents that were so coveted. It was like bubble bath, shower gel, and hand soap all in one. It's just a soap. Like, that's really all it is. I don't know why they were like, it's a bubble bath and a shower gel. All shower gels are bubble baths, to be honest, if you're really thinking about it. Yeah, these were so popular, like so popular. So many different like favorites videos back in the day. I'm positive that I saw It's Judy Time, Blair Fowler, Dulce Candy, Candy Johnson. So many people were talking about these products back in the day. And I feel like Bath and Body stuff has kind of either turned to very, very clean stuff or very like niche indie stuff. And definitely indie brands are coming out with things that are like this. I haven't heard from Philosophy in a long time. I don't know if they're still doing these, but I think there's definitely still a market for Bath and Body stuff that's not Lush. It's cute. It's cute. Oh my God. Oh my God. Hard candy. So I was told in a video recently that hard candy used to be sold in Sephora. What? Hard candy was inside Sephora? I don't remember those times. This was on their best holiday makeup for 2010 on Elle.com. Hard candy baked meteor eyeshadow in Supernova. A spiraling galaxy of glittering purple goes on wet as a liner or dry for a smoky starry eyed effect. This was back when brands were just like, yes, put this eyeshadow all over your eye. It's a look. I still think that's a look. Like, I still do that where I'm like, I'm just gonna take this one matte shadow and just like put it all over my eyes. It was also like the heyday of baked shadows, baked everything. Baked shadows, mineralized baked skin finishes, just baked everything was everywhere. Now, I don't know if it's as popular or if if they've just taken like a different approach to like the pressing. It was all very much like these domey, like just a dome product because it was like pressed in there and baked. I don't know exactly the like science of it all. Everything that was baked was just this like dome marbled effect thing. Hard Candy is one of those brands that I feel like because they were just in Walmart for so long, so many people just like didn't know about it much because, I mean, speaking from experience, we don't really have Walmart around here close. Like, I didn't have a Walmart in my hometown growing up. We were actually like the first town to keep a Walmart out because they tried to build one. And then our like business association in town was just like, nope. We never really had Walmart that accessible around us. So like, I didn't know that hard candy was a thing until I really got on YouTube. Yeah, and apparently it was at Sephora. I'm like, what the hell? How? What? And then why did it go to Walmart? Like, how did it take that freaking nosedive from being inside Sephora to just only being inside Walmart? I don't understand. I really don't. Yeah, this Galaxy shadow, like, yeah, pretty fun stuff. Yeah. Oh, here's actually a product that I owned. I owned this. This was the Urban Decay Vice palette. Was this the first Vice palette? I had this, 20 shades. I decluttered this a couple of years ago because I just never used it that much. I bought it because of YouTube and I wanted to try more colorful shades. I just never ended up using it that much because it was so big and bulky. Just not the most conducive for space and just kind of a weird color story. This isn't a color story that I think would do very well. It's kind of confusing. Like, it's kind of just disjointed. Like, there's these really light shades on the bottom. There's some like grungy shades that are very Urban Decay, but then there's like one bright blue, a bright shimmery teal, a muted purple, and then like a hot pink. So it's just kind of a weird color story that I don't think would do that well these days. This might have been before the Naked palette. This might have been simultaneously with the Naked palette. I don't remember, but I had this. This was a palette that I had. Oh, Bare Minerals. Bare Minerals. Love of my life. When they actually started to try to do eyeshadows, it never really did that well. This was another one of those like all-in-one face palettes. The socialite of the group will love Bare. What is that supposed to mean? Like, it's just like, oh, everybody on Gossip Girl is gonna like this. Looks like a powder bronzer, a blush, and then a 4 eyeshadow pan quad. It's like a white, like a gold, and then like a taupe, and then a dark, dark navy, and then some lip products and a brush. Eyeshadows have never been Bare Minerals' strong suit. The quality is there. Like, I've heard that the actual like formula isn't bad. Like, they're not innovative when it comes to making eyeshadow palettes. And I feel like they kind of stopped doing that eventually because they realized that, oh, this isn't really something we should try. We should just solely focus on complexion. And they've done that. So thankfully they stopped doing stuff like this. Oh, speaking of giant eyeshadow palettes, what was e.l.f. doing? e.l.f., I love e.l.f. Don't get me wrong. I love e.l.f. They have come so far. e.l.f. has come so far in the last 10 years when it comes to just like innovative products, brushes, blushes, cheeks, eyes. Like e.l.f. has grown so much in terms of innovation and quality. They used to do stuff like this a lot. I feel like they were doing this stuff up until like a few years ago too, where you would find them at CVS, just like in an aisle section. Like, you know those aisle sections during the holidays where there's always those like weird gift sets where it's like soap and candles and body spray. And then there's that meme where it's like, hey, no woman in your life wants this, don't buy it for her. I feel like this was also similar to that. It's funny, on their post, perfect for any girl first starting to wear makeup, will be blown away by the e.l.f. Studio
144 piece eyeshadow palette.
That's too much. 88 was too much. 60 is too many. 144? You know what this looks like? This looks like it's a part of a giant image that they just used pixels to create an image. Like there's individual pixels. Like the colors are so close together, like you don't need that many. If anybody released this product these days, especially for holiday, they would get roasted. It would be a blackened marshmallow that would no longer be delicious. I love me a good blackened marshmallow, don't get me wrong, but like this would be too far gone. Oh my god, MAC. So we're gonna get into the MAC collections now. There were so many MAC holiday collections. This was, I can't remember what year it was.
She loves anything girly, which is why she'll love the MAC Fabulousness Smoky Eye Palette.
It doesn't look like it zips, but it kind of clasps shut, that has like a bow on it. Again, it's very Gossip Girl type aesthetics. MAC put out a lot of collections back in the day, like so many. And the collections that I feel like always did the worst were the ones where it was like eyeshadow palettes. Because MAC was never that great at eyeshadow palettes to begin with. They really worked and succeeded in doing like singular products. So single eyeshadows, single blushes, single lipsticks. Like eyeshadow palettes were not MAC's strong suit because from what I remember, the quality of the MAC eyeshadow palettes were never that good compared to the single eyeshadows. This probably was also bad. And the color variation, this is like the most boring, like kind of purpley-ish tone. There's like very little variation. It's cute, but like it's also incredibly ashy. Ma'am, no. I like the idea of like little kind of quilted compacts to kind of carry around with you, but not this. Not this. Oh my god, Tarte. Did we buy this? We might have bought this for my sister's friend. I don't remember, but my sister's friend was really getting into makeup back in the day, and I think we might have bought this for her. But this is 6 eyeshadow quads and some lip products, a blush, a mascara. Oh, this was one of their setting powders. I never tried their setting powders. I never really was like a fan of setting powders back in the day. This is a lot of products. It's a lot of products. It's a lot of quads. I don't know why brands insist on creating palettes that basically have little palettes inside of it. Like this has 6 different quads that they could have easily just released as quads. I feel like if they had something like this just as quads, take a shot every time Abby says quads. No, please don't. If they release them individually, I feel like they would do a lot better now. I feel like people really aren't into these like giant palettes that have very specific little things. It bothers me visually because it's like I can only use these 4 together or these 4 together. Like if you're gonna make a palette that's this big, like just have it be all of the shades in like one palette, but maybe just like organize them in like lines. But having them quadrants that are separated is like very visually kind of annoying, and I don't think people really are into this anymore. Like Urban Decay did this with the Game of Thrones palette that came out last year that's like literally one of the ugliest palettes I've ever seen, where it's like just release the individual smaller products. Like you don't need to come out with this giant palette that has individual palettes inside of it. That's always something that I'm not a fan of. Oh, here's old school ABH. Old school ABH. This was ABH in 2011. Isn't that wild that this was ABH in 2011? This is very 2011 makeup. The palette's kind of cute, not gonna lie, but it's one of those things that has a drawer and then like a little mini mirror. It's very weird and it's just so boring. They've come a long way, both for better or for worse. You know, this is so funny. Like the outer packaging is actually kind of cute. Like I kind of dig the outer packaging of being this very like minimalist kind of chic black with the little like gold chain on it. Like that's kind of cute. But once you open it up, it's just jumbled and weird and I don't like it.
Oh my god, Benefit hasn't changed a bit.
Benefits. She's so jet set. I absolutely hate the way that Benefit names their products more than any other brand. It's one of the pettiest pet peeves that I have, but the way that they name their products is the cringiest thing ever. And they've always named their products this way. Like, they've never changed. They've never evolved. Benefit is stuck in 2008, and I will die on that hill. And this is a perfect testament to it, because it's a cheek palette, an eye palette. It has the same brushes, the Professional. It's probably the same blush. No, they're real mascara, and then a sponge tip applicator for the eyeshadows. And it's just so
ugly.
This is very Physicians Formula. This is very Physicians Formula. This is very Benefit. Like, this is Benefit through and through, and they've never changed. Of all of the brands that were big back in the day, NARS has evolved a little bit, but then they've also really gotten stuck in their way of just like always releasing things titled Orgasm. It's like, come on guys, just like be a little bit creative. But every other brand I feel like has like actually grown except Benefit. Yeah, no, this is so ugly. Anyone will appreciate the colorful packaging in this collection of eye, lip, and cheeks products. No, they wouldn't. Not these days. What does that mean? She's so jet set. What does that even mean? Oh God, no. Oh no. I don't remember what year this was, but this was a Sephora and Pantone Universe Precious Metals Shadow Palette for $48. This is the saddest, like, neutrals palette, but it grinds my gears that the shades are offset inside, like they don't line up. Oh my, I hate it. I hate it so much. It's like they kind of started with them offset, but then they line up all at the top, and then they don't all line up at the bottom, and then like some of them line up in the middle, but then some of them don't. It's so maddening. It's ashy as fuck. Like, this is a sad palette. I don't remember what the Pantone color of the year was back then, but the outer packaging is also boring. It's $48. Like, nobody would buy this. Like, this is just sad. And it bothers me so much. There's so much space in between the eyeshadows, so it's unnecessarily large. Like, I hate this. I hate this so much. I hate this. I hate it. It bothers my eyes. Ah!
Anyway.
Back to Too Faced. The Too Faced Sweet Indulgence palette. This looks like everything that Too Faced puts out every year for Christmas. You know how in the yearbook when you tell people, oh, never changed, Too Faced never did. Again, there's so much extra space. There's so much extra space in these palettes. They're so big unnecessarily. And then the cheek side, blush, bronzer, highlight, and then a space for the shadow insurance. They always had to put the shadow insurance in every single palette that was like a multi-use palette. Clearly people still buy these, or else Too Faced wouldn't still be making them. But if you ever see one of these holiday products and you really want to try it, just wait until after Christmas because it goes on sale. If you really want to try it, don't buy it before Christmas because they never sell out and there's always stuff on massive sale. I learned this from working at Lush. Lush never did sales except when they were trying to get rid of holiday products. So if you ever are interested in holiday things and you know that it's not going to sell out, or you're pretty sure it's not going to sell out, just wait until after Christmas because it's going to go on massive discount. They can't sell it anymore because it's not Christmas anymore. Tip there. Oh my God, Bobbi Brown came out with a palette with Katie Holmes. What? Bobbi Brown's Old Hollywood collection featuring none other than Katie Holmes. Back when Katie Holmes was the height of celebrity. Nothing against Katie Holmes. I don't hate her, but like, what is she doing these days? Having a kid. Having a teenage kid. Suri is a teenager, right? Oh my God, I feel old. But this is a 9-pan eyeshadow palette with some lipsticks and some little brush that came with the eyeshadow palette. I do love myself a good 9-pan, and Bobbi Brown was, again, one of the bigger brands back when, like, beauty YouTube was like first kind of coming into its own. And so this nowadays, it's actually kind of pretty for a neutral palette. Like, there's like a good ratio of shimmers to mattes. I mean, it kind of reminds me on the inside of like the Artist Couture. Oh, it's like a neutrals palette, but it's like kind of different. Like, I can't remember the name of it, but this is actually kind of pretty. Not gonna lie. Like, it's a classic kind of color story. The fact that Katie Holmes was the collaboration, that was just very funny to me. What year is it? Oh my God. Oh my God, Clinique. Oh my God. Oh my God, I love this. Clinique Nutcracker Act 1 palette. Did they have 2? Clinique eyeshadows have always been powdery, very hit or miss, very ashy, not very pigmented. I've only tried Clinique eyeshadows when they were like a free gift with purchase or stuff that my mother had, because like my mom bought Clinique because she had sensitive skin and it was dermatologist tested, so my mom was like, that's what I'm going with. Clinique was my mom's brand growing up. She never really wore makeup, but when she did, it was Clinique. So my earliest experience with makeup was Clinique and Sheer Cover. Was that also the same company as Bare Minerals? Was that Bare Essentials? I don't remember. Infomercials. I stayed up late and watched infomercials when I was a kid. But Clinique, I don't remember what year this was, but this is so indicative of Clinique early days. Now they've come out with like more fun cheek products. Their lip products are really good. Their mascara, like their high impact mascara was like one of the first mascaras I really liked. Their eyeshadows were never their strong suit. So why they ever came out with eyeshadow things for Christmas is beyond me. Nutcracker Act 1. What is this supposed to be Nutcracker about? Like, what is Nutcracker about this? I would not spend money on this. I would get a free gift with purchase, but I would not spend money on this. That's funny. Wait, how is this not an Urban Decay palette? Makeup Forever Studio Case? This is
horrendous.
These eyeshadows, they're either so small or this palette is so monstrously big because the amount of space in between these makes my eyes hurt. I don't like this. I hate this. If you're gonna make a palette this big, they could have easily fit twice as many eyeshadows in here. Tiny shadow trunk. It could have been tinier, or the eyeshadows could have been bigger. That's just weird. Now let's get to the MAC products, because there were a lot of MAC products. Oh my god, a tartan tail? A tartan tail was 2010? Wow. Wow. That's so funny. MAC had giant holiday releases. So many products, like multiple lip glosses, multiple lip liners, multiple single eyeshadows, pigments, nail polishes, blushes, highlights, so many products. And then they had, individual eyeshadow palettes too? Wow, yeah, Tartan Tail was huge. Oh my god, the packaging is so cute. Oh my god, the packaging is so cute. I would buy that right now. I would buy that right now. That's so cute. Oh my god. I love plaid. Like I said, their eyeshadow palettes were not very good. Like MAC wasn't very good at making eyeshadow palettes, but like I would buy a blush duo in a plaid packaging right now. I feel like plaid could make a comeback. Like this is probably their best holiday collection that they've ever put out, realistically. That's adorable. Oh my god, that's too cute. Oh my god, that's so cute. Literally, MAC would put out so many collections that were so big that like Talia had an entire section on her website of just MAC releases. Like that's how many MAC collections came out back in the day. 2011, they had the Ice Parade collection, which was very like silvery, sparkly, snow globe type vibes. Ooh, Patina, I had that eyeshadow. I had Patina, it was one of like 2 MAC I've had like 5 MAC eyeshadows in my day. Ooh, Black Tide. That's another eyeshadow that came out with it. Creme de Nude. Stripped Down Boldly. These were iconic MAC products. Iconic MAC products. This is kind of cute with the sparkly silver kind of snow globy vibes. I feel like that would come back. Even though this came out in 2011, I feel like the colors of the packaging is very like early 2000s, and early 2000s stuff are really making a comeback somehow. So I feel like that would actually do really well these days too. The eyeshadow palettes are kind of blah, but everything else about it is like, okay, 2013, we got 2 more, and then we're gonna wrap it up here. Stroke of Midnight collection for holiday 2013. Looking at these, it is obvious that MAC basically like re-promoted a lot of lip products and a lot of cheek products with their holiday stuff, which I think is still a thing that people do these days. Like brands definitely do re-promotes, but like MAC was kind of like, yeah, every year we're gonna come out with a lip bag or like a lip combo, and they included Creme de Nude, which is like gross. Creme de Nude, it looks like concealer lips, but that was all the rage back then, you know? The packaging is very cute. I will say the packaging is very cute, and I think that that kind of packaging these days people might actually like. But again, these collections were so big. Ooh, that's a fun one. And then last but not least, we have the 2014 Keepsakes collection. Oh, these are cute too. Sleek mirrored compact sparkle in glittery gray, black, and white, each accented with a chic cami. Ooh, that's actually kind of cute. Yeah, everything's just very kind of classic. If they did that now, if a brand came out with something that looked like that now, it would definitely be different and would definitely be something that not everybody else is doing, but it was kind of cute. Tartan Tail is still my favorite. Give me all the plaid. My aesthetics are like all black or plaid. Well, those are all the things that I could find from early 2010s holiday releases. It's definitely quite a spectrum, but pretty much the central theme is that all the holiday palettes had like extra things that didn't actually belong in the palettes. And brands are still doing that, so people are still buying it apparently. Today's song of the day is Tides by Ravenna Woods, because it is off their very first EP. No, was this the first one? Demons and Lakes was the first one. This is Valley of the Headless Men. I think it came out in 2011. I don't remember. Yeah, it's an old fave of mine from Ravenna Woods. They're buddies of mine. I love them with my whole damn heart. And you guys should go check out their music. Highly recommend. Highly recommend, and the music videos are weird as fuck, and I have worked on some of them. Not the music video for this, but if you peruse their YouTube channel, my name is listed a few times. I hope you enjoyed this video. Definitely go check out Hannah's if you haven't watched hers yet. If you are here from her channel, welcome. I hope you enjoy your time here. If you want to see more of me, please subscribe, because I'm posting every day this month as well. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. That is actually very helpful for me in the algorithm, more than you know. If you remember any of these, please let me know down in the comments below. If you are an early YouTube makeup world person, please let me know. I've just been really falling down the nostalgic rabbit hole lately, both here and on my Twitch channel, so please let me know if you remember any of these, or if you bought any of them. If you ever owned any of these, like I did, like I owned the Urban Decay stuff, let me know, because it's fun. Thanks for watching, everybody. Links to my other social media and my merch will be down in the description down below. I stream on Twitch a couple times a week as well, because I don't sleep. Who needs sleep? Am I right? Hope you guys are all having a good week. I hope you are staying safe. I hope you are wearing your mask, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.